Hi, I'm Ava, and I'd like to welcome you back to Food Diaries. And today we are really happy to have with us Ruben Zamal Suti, whose love and passion for cooking has led him on a one-year journey at a culinary school in Bangalore, and he's back here in town. So Ruben,
Hi.
welcome to the show, and we're really glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Papa.
So Ruben, what will be your first take for the dish?
So our first take is going to be a roasted pumpkin soup.
All right.
So for that we have some pumpkin,
Okay.
some Parmesan cheese,
Yeah.
some olive oil, garlic, pepper, rosemary, nutmeg, some grounded pepper,
Okay.
lemon juice, butter, some onions, some button mushrooms,
Okay.
oyster mushrooms, a Hawaiian black sea salt, and some chicken stock.
And do tune in on all of you who are eager to know about how to go about these dishes. Well, you keep on watching, and Ruben will be doing his job. Right? All right.
So first I'm going to start with the pumpkin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to slit through it like this.
Okay.
Use our upper half since it holds on properly,
Okay.
and just rub it in.
Lovely. So, what kind of pumpkin would you recommend?
You can use a disco pumpkin.
Disco pumpkin.
Yeah.
All right.
Put some of the rosemary.
And so I believe the rosemary is from your garden.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Lovely.
My mother's garden. And then some of the pepper.
Yeah.
Just put it in anyway. So now we'll roast it for at 200 degrees for roughly around an hour.
Yeah.
It depends on how tender the pumpkin is. So all you have to do is just keep on checking whether how soft. Once it gets soft, that's good enough.
All right. So, what is the next thing that you'll be doing?
So the next thing we're going to saute the mushrooms in the pan.
Okay.
So we're going to saute with some butter and some of the Hawaiian sea salt to give it a charry flavor. That the butter.
Okay.
I'm also going to add a bit of olive oil so that the butter doesn't get burned.
Okay.
Because sauteing basically involves high heat.
Okay.
Keep on the constant stirring in high heat.
So your love for cooking has turned you into an artist of food.
Yes, it does.
Cooking is an art, right?
Yes, it is.
There are different techniques involved, and but I think that we always customize as per our taste as well, right?
That's yeah. So as you can see now the butter is sizzling. So you can add in the mushrooms. So first the button mushrooms.
Lovely. These are the button mushrooms being added,
And some of the oyster mushrooms.
oyster mushrooms.
So find the oyster mushroom whole.
So oyster mushrooms are put in as a whole, right?
Yeah. So basically I'm putting it whole only so that it helps with the plating or the presentation.
Yeah. Cooking is something which, as Ruben had said, something which he loved doing ever since, as long as he can remember, going into people's kitchen and exploring and having his first dish, pancake, on the table. And some inculcate this experience as well. Some people get into this by default and happen to love it as well. So as long as we have something good on the plate, I think there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. So what I just added in the Hawaiian black sea salt.
So I'm really intrigued by this, and I think it'll be my first time I'm going to be tasting a dish that's been seasoned with the Hawaiian black sea salt.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's nice about this sea salt, what's unique about it is basically, unlike other black salts and all, this salt is a normal Hawaiian salt.
Yeah.
It's just that it's fermented in the volcanoes.
Wow.
So now it's ready. So now it's been an hour, so I think I'll take the pumpkin out. So as you can see, the pumpkins become really tender.
It is.
It's really soft.
Yeah.
So all you need to just tear it out with a spoon. That's good enough.
Okay.
So first we'll remove the rosemary and the garlic. And then
basically you put the rosemary and garlic for the flavoring.
yeah,
right?
just to infuse the flavor.
Infuse some flavor in it.
Just stir it up, take it all out, and put in the blender.
Yeah. And you're going to blend this.
Yes, I am. So what you're going to do now is with the garlic, which we roasted, we can just squeeze it out. So it becomes like sort of like a paste.
Yeah.
So you just need to crush it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to crush out some of the garlic, not too much. And some of the peppers already in there.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just going to blend it a bit. So as you can see, it hasn't blended properly yet, which is why.
Yeah.
See, hasn't blended properly.
You can see, yeah, it takes a little more to blend this. So what are you going to do?
So I'm going to add some chicken stock into it.
All right.
So just need a little more blending, but as you can see now it's become sort of a puree.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very thick puree.
Yes, it is. So basically it's going to be run down when we cook in the pan with some water, with some stock, sorry.
So it'll be take a little more blending.
Yeah, I will.
Alright, so as you can see, the pumpkin is like a thick puree, and Ruben is just going to blend it up just a little bit more.
So if you notice, it's become a little smoother than it was a few minutes ago.
Yes. So you see that the puree is turned very soft and smooth.
So next, let me just take this. So I'm going to add some of the butter from here.
Alright.
Not all of it because I'm going to use a bit for garnish too.
Okay. This butter on which the mushroom had been sauteed and added to the vessel.
Yes, it is. So you just have to wait for it to heat up a bit.
Okay.
So we can actually always pour in the puree in the meantime.
So how long will you're going to just...
So I'm just going to stir it just for a few seconds actually. And then we're going to pour in some more stock.
So we are yet to see the humble seed pumpkin, and this will be turned and transformed into a really magical soup. It is a soup that is really well known all over the world in really big Michelin stars restaurant, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of about this dish on TV per se. And today is, I think, my lucky day.
Yeah,
See Ruben executing this lovely dish with the pumpkin here in his house.
I'm just going to add in some onions. So basically, onions is just going to bring in some flavor because before we serve the soup, we're going to strain it all out.
Okay.
So I'm going to grate in just a bit of nutmeg, not too much. So actually I first tried this pumpkin soup on Christmas 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was your first take.
Yeah, my first take on this soup.
This is your second take.
No, I've made it. Yeah, 4th or 5th take, you would say.
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, I would say 4th take.
4th take.
Yeah. So now I'm going to add in a slight bit of the lemon juice to make it just a little, like the slight tang for balance. That should do actually.
So is it mandatory that you add lemon juice, or it depends on you?
Yeah, it actually depends on your flavor. It depends on what you like.
So the lemon juice has just been added, and Ruben said that you can add, or if you don't want to add this as well. That also works fine.
Yeah. So just gonna turn on this pan again to just reheat the mushrooms.
Okay.
Sorry. Slightly more than half a teaspoon of salt.
Alright.
I mean, the salt really depends on you.
It does.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the dish too salted, and some
Prefer more salt.
There are people in most homes whom I've gone to, and they would have the food and always have a
Some
little bit of
salt.
raw salt on the plate.
Yeah,
They can't eat the food without that.
without it.
But as everything goes, a dish is incomplete without
Salt.
Yeah.
Exactly, because without salt, the flavors don't get enhanced. So it will be very, very
We
mild.
can never, overdo.
Some salt, yeah. You can never overdo it. So we have some puree soups, then we have pumpkin soup, cream soups. So we're just going to put some mushrooms in there.
Right?
Then we have some bisque, which is basically seafood based soups.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to take this from my hand
Yeah.
and put it in between. Let's start pouring the soup on the side.
That looks really good.
Thank you. So you need about, it actually depends on you. So I would prefer around 2 or 3 strips.
Okay. So this is you call this dish as the pumpkin
Roasted pumpkin soup.
roasted pumpkin soup,
Yeah.
which is now done, and just a few strips of Parmesan cheese which Ruben is adding to.
Yes, sir. Just some of it. And the soup's done.
Lovely. So Ruben,
Yeah.
this looks absolutely amazing, and I'm feasting my eyes on the pumpkin which is which you've gotten ready.
Just roasted it.
Well, let's dig and
Try some.
yeah. Wow, this is, for me, this is a meal in itself. Who knows that the humble Khasi pumpkin, and it's like almost a Michelin star dish here, dished by Ruben. Well, Ruben, you've done a fantastic job. This is, I think, for all of you who are tuned in, you should go to the market and get Khasi pumpkin. This is what Ruben has been showing us, and you can have a version of this soup at your homes.
Yeah.
Right, Ruben?
Yeah, we can.
This is really lovely, and it's really impressive artwork.
Thank you.
Looking at all these wonderful ingredients, I'm really thinking, what is it that you're up to now?
So now we're going to make some chicken and mushroom risotto.
Okay.
So it's basically an Italian rice dish. So like how we have our biryanis and all,
Yeah.
they have the risottos.
Lovely. So some lovely Italian dish, and for most of you who may have just heard or seen about this dish on TV, today we have Ruben, who will be using his expertise and his take on the chicken risotto dish. So something Italian for all of us today, and do stay tuned and watch Ruben as he does his lovely job.
So again, we have some Hawaiian black sea salt.
All right.
We have some black pepper, crushed black pepper, some lemon juice, some mushroom stock,
Okay.
some olive oil, some butter, chicken breast, then some chopped mushrooms,
All right.
some red wine. I will have to get some dry red wine, something like Shiraz or Cabernet Sauvignon,
All right.
some grapes like that. Then some oyster mushrooms, lemon, we just need it for the zest. And then, so the proper risotto is made with arborio rice, but we're going to use some jowar instead.
Okay.
Then we have some cream, some parmesan cheese, garlic, or onions, and some parsley.
All right.
So I'm going to start by adding some butter again.
Alright.
A lot of butter goes into it.
Yeah. It's a very rich dish.
Yeah, it is. It's very rich.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going to add a bit of olive oil so that it won't burn out. So we're going to start by adding some of the rice.
Okay. And so what is the proportion? How much of the rice is required?
So we can add about 1 cup.
Okay.
So at the same time, we're also going to add in the onions.
Alright, so there it goes in about a cup of, today Ruben is using the jowar rice and along with that the onions.
Yeah. So we are actually adding the onions in at the same time with the rice, so it doesn't fry out too much.
Alright.
So just like at the same time while it cooks with the rice, it kind of steams up.
Yeah, yeah.
And we add in a bit of the parsley earlier on the stage itself.
Yeah, so you can see in the pan that's
Since I'm using dry parsley, we add it on early. But if we're using fresh parsley, we can add it on a little later, once we add in the liquids. If you're going to use the normal arbori rice, you don't need to add any cream in it.
alright. How long have you been sauteing and stirring the rice in the pan?
So saute for around 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically just until it becomes like a light brown color, like what you can see right now.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
very mild brown.
Okay.
So we should always pour in the wine first so that that's the first flavor, that's the first thing it absorbs.
Okay.
So about that much wine should do.
That is why the risotto looks, it has this color.
Yeah, with that
wine.
color, exactly.
Right?
So now as you can see it's drying up.
Yeah.
So now we're going to pour in the mushroom stock.
Okay.
We're going to pour in little by little.
Yeah.
So now we're going to add some chicken stock into it. So basically we have to keep on doing this until the rice is almost ready.
So you repeat the process.
Yeah, we keep repeating the process. So you notice this dish has a lot of butter in it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like basically for occasions you could say. So adding some lemon zest.
Yeah.
So you can grate a little more. You just have to be careful that you don't get the white part.
Yeah.
That will make it really bitter.
Okay, okay.
So what the zest does is it takes out all the essential oils from the lemon.
Alright.
So it gives a nice, the smell which you get from the lemon, you get the flavor in it. So you add some of the lemon juice. And some garlic.
Okay. And garlic, of course.
Yeah. And now.
So how long do you have to leave the chicken for marination?
So actually this particular recipe doesn't need any time. You just marinate it.
Alright.
So basically it's more like a dressing.
Okay.
You just add it and you directly bake it.
Okay.
So pinch would do. And some more of the Hawaiian black sea salt.
Yeah, this is,
Something
I
very.
find this very intriguing, and I tasted the soup that it made earlier. I think this is the ashy, smoky flavor that you get is really good.
Yeah. It's a good substitute for smoking. Like
Yeah.
you can't smoke something up,
Yeah.
so it's a really great substitute. The chicken, you actually need the skin. So the skin, what it does is it basically covers up the chicken so that it stays tender and
Alright.
juicy.
Okay.
So I'm going to start. Just going to put the chicken here. I'm going to use my hand for this.
Yeah, yeah.
So Start by just rubbing it all over.
Okay.
Then you cover with the skin.
Okay.
All over. So I've already preheated the oven at 200 degrees. So I'm going to cook it until it's ready. So I would say around 15 minutes.
Okay.
So for this, you don't really need any butter, nothing. So all you have to do is just put it in. So this is what we call broiling.
Broiling, right.
Yeah. That's the main reason why we use dry wines instead of normal sweet wines.
Okay, now I get it. As I think the flavor won't be the same if you'd use a normal red wine with the sweet texture to it, right?
Yeah, no, it won't. Maybe it gives a little different.
Exactly. I can imagine how the taste would be.
Yeah. So we're gonna pour not all, but most of it into it. So this one we're leaving for plating.
Okay.
Just want to let it press here itself. So we put it in there and then cook a bit. So at the same time we're also going to add some more parsley into it.
All right.
Just a bit, not much. So that's roughly about a quarter of a teaspoon.
Okay. I think your chicken should be about done, right?
Yeah. You can see the color.
Wow.
Become quite,
Yeah.
it's like sort of a blonde brown.
Yeah. It's absolutely done. Nice.
Thank you. So now you can keep the skin on if you like, since
Yeah.
see that the skin was actually removed, so now it's attached.
Yeah.
It stays on.
So you work some magic when you cook.
Yeah.
The chicken will now be added to the risotto. And so Ruben, what would you need to do after this?
So now I'm gonna let it cook like it's fine for like just a few more minutes until it completely dries up now. And once it's dry, I'm gonna add in the cream and I'm gonna add the Parmesan cheese.
Okay. So how long does it approximately take to make a risotto like this?
It actually takes around roughly between like 1.5 hours to 2 hours.
Wow.
It's a very long process. So
Yeah.
this is basically what you call a slow painful.
Yeah, I think this is one of those dishes that should be cooked on low heat, and then there was a time when the heat was also turned off.
Yeah.
You know?
Just before all this dehydrates.
I think there will be a very nice balance between the tanginess from the wine and the cream.
Yeah.
Right?
Would be because normally you can't add
Cream.
lemon or any acids.
Okay, all right.
Because curds.
Yes, yes.
So wine is one of the best choices you have.
So we can just show the audience, this is the Hawaiian sea salt that is being used for the dish. And I don't think so we'd get it anywhere here.
No,
No.
sadly. Yeah, that's a perfect sound, as in like it should start to sizzle a bit. Okay. Add a bit more butter. So now it gives it kind of a silky color.
It does, yeah.
Silky smoothness and everything with the gloss. So why they added it in the end, so that like, the cheese doesn't go to waste. Doesn't like
Alright.
you don't add more cheese. Like,
Okay.
if you add cheese in between, some of the flavor might go off.
Okay.
So if you add it in the end,
Yeah.
it sticks. It's actually quite similar to that of the soup. So you just add some of the
Yeah.
risotto. Dry flavor, so like kind of dryness.
Exactly. I was thinking as much. Yeah.
Such a rich dish, so you need something dry.
Well, the moment of truth.
Yeah.
Your chicken risotto is here and it looks absolutely yummy. And a little bit of Italian here on the plate. Let's dig in and
Yeah.
find out. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm speechless. Wow.
Thank you.
You've said this is a comfort food.
Yeah.
For me, it's like it's not just a comfort food. I think the balance that because of the wine and that you've added the cream. There's a nice creamy and tangy balance to it. And unfortunately, I'm not Italian, so today I get a little bit of Italian paradise here, and all the credit goes to Ruben. We're going to sit. We're going to dig in some more. I'm not going to let go of this dish. And for all of you who are tuned in, today we've made very lovely dishes with Ruben. Some of these dishes are dishes that you would get in Michelin star restaurants, and today it's very fortunate for us at Food Diaries that Ruben is showing his expertise with all these dishes and his take on them. So we'll continue with our eating.
Yeah.
And from all of us here at Doordarshan Kendra Shillong, we thank you for tuning into Food Diaries. We will have you back for another episode with some wonderful take on the dishes that you love. And do join us for our next episode from Food Diaries at Doordarshan Kendra Shillong. It's bye-bye.